Welcome to Coast View, or welcome back to Coast View. So anyway, let's shift gears now and move over to my friend Captain Sonny Schindler of Sure Thing Charters. We visit pretty regularly. We enjoy talking about fishing because people who regularly listen to the show know I grew up fishing and love fishing. Have a show on SuperTalk that goes across the state called SuperTalk Outdoors. But I just love fishing, and Sonny and I get together when he's off the water, and we talk about fishing. So anyway, how you doing, Sonny?
I'm good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hey, before we get into fishing and what you're up to these days, it's an interesting time of year because we have a cold snap and then we get reminded about the tropical situation that we live in. So to get it back up to the 70s again, then to get cold again, and then we have fog to deal with. Whole unique moment on our calendar from a weather point of view. But I wanted to mention that I had Thomas Jenin on recently and told his incredible story. I mean, first of all, what a great story, but we're actually going to come back together again because we didn't really get a chance to talk about the work he did to make it so that you guys could catch fish and bring the fish and clean the fish and then have the fish cooked by the restaurant. There wasn't a time when we could actually do that. Actually, there was a time when we could not actually do that. But now we can do it, and the DMR is behind it, and we're all good with that. But it's a great story. I look forward to bringing him back on, and just to hear the story from his perspective of what he's done to sort of make life better for charter boat captains. That's a great story, isn't it?
He's been so good to us, and I always say time and time again, he doesn't have to be. I mean, he does very well with his restaurants and his bars, and he does that just to better his community and the people in it. So we are big fans of the Blind Tiger and Marina Cantina and Thomas Jenin. Big fans.
Yeah, he started work for Emerald, and you learned a lot about how to do his business in a really, really high pressure environment. And then went on to launch his own restaurants. Got wiped out by Hurricane Katrina. It's another one of those great stories of resiliency. And then, of course, he built and sold Shaggy's, and then he relaunched the Blind Tiger. It continues to grow and open up new locations. And then you have Marina Cantina in Gulfport that's soon to open up in Ocean Springs, and that's just a great story in and of itself. But I enjoy spending time with entrepreneurs, especially restaurant entrepreneurs, especially during the pandemic, because they've had to overcome a lot of adversity. And if it weren't a labor of love, they would not do what they do. I can tell you that. Same thing with you. I mean, if you didn't love what you do, being a charter boat captain, if you didn't love to fish and enjoy taking people to fish, it could be a grind, couldn't it, Sonny?
Yeah. I always say, when I wake up that one morning and I don't want to go to work anymore, and when it really becomes that much of a job, I think I'll probably start looking for something different to do. But I still get excited. We've got 2 or 3 boats out right now. They've been texting me all morning, and they're in a bunch of fish. So I always love talking to you, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to go to work right now. I know, man. That much.
I felt the same, man. Throughout my career, I loved what I did. And the moment that it started to become a little bit more like work, even through all the change efforts that I was involved with, and it was all never really super easy because I was involved in a lot of media change efforts. But, the day that I woke up and I didn't love it anymore, I gave him a 2-year notice, literally 2-year notice. And 2 years and 6 months is how long it took. But, I don't look back on that, but I agree with you. I mean, when you're spending time with someone who loves what they do, who literally loves what they do, then it's not work. I mean, certainly it's a living, it's a career, but you have to have passion for it. You have passion for it. And the passion you have is not just catching fish, but it's watching others, show it to their, bring their families and show it to their kids and experience something they've never experienced before. That never gets old, does it?
It never does, man. And I don't want our experience to end at 4 or 6, or 3 days at Cat Island. I want to leave a stamp and a mark for our trip, for Mississippi, for our town, for Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian, Waveland. I want them to tell their grandkids about it. So It can be something so simple as them seeing a dolphin for their first time, or catching their first bull red or triple tail, or we can just have that much of an experience because I've been at this a little while, and never fails. Every year you get calls from people we took 10, 15 years ago, and they'll say, man, we had such a good time, and y'all treated us so well that we want to come back. And now the little fella that we took in 2007 is out of college and starting their family, and they want them to experience what they did when they were younger. So yes, the fish is a big part of it, but the experience is so much more. And we work. It's not just the fishing; it's working with guys like Thomas and people at the Pearl Hotel and the Chamber of Commerce, and everybody helping everybody get to that next level.
Yeah, you mentioned the Pearl. That was interesting. You mentioned that. Tell me about that.
Well, it's right across the street from Thomas's, the Pearl Hotel, right on the corner of Main and Beach Boulevard. Sarah Cure is running it. Man, if you haven't seen this thing, several really, really nice restaurants. My wife, just anytime we have any free time, we want to go to the Thorny Oyster, and very, very well built, but it is dead center in the middle of downtown Bay St. Louis. So you overlook the entire bay and Mississippi Sound. One of those places, you can park your car on a Friday and never touch it again until, it's time to go home Sunday afternoon. You can walk to all the shops. If people let us know that they're staying there, they can walk across the street to the harbor. We'll pick you up there. You can bring your fish back to the Blind Tiger, get your lunch there. It's nice. It is very, very, very nice.
Well, I knew it was coming for a long time. We had, of course, Tish Williams from the chamber there, and I are very close. She's been on the show many times, and she really bragged heavily on the fact that this big investment was going to be made in downtown Bay St. Louis, right? At the location that you just mentioned. And now, of course, it makes sense to call it the Pearl because it's now the Pearl of downtown in a lot of ways. I mean, think about this incredible hotel. It's bigger than a boutique motel, but it's boutique in the fact that it's unique. The art they use to do it. I had dinner there recently, my wife and I, with a friend at the restaurant there, and gosh, it was good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And when you enter into Bay St. Louis and park, as you pointed out, and kind of walk your way, to wherever you're headed. There's just something about the vibe in Bay St. Louis these days that it's just one of a kind sense of place. Now you can go to Long Beach and have a similar experience, or you can go to Pasquartan and have it. Each one has their own. You heard us talking about that just a few minutes ago, but it's unique. And what Bay St. Louis has done to rebuild from an apocalyptic scenario after Katrina is truly remarkable. And the sense of place that is there with the harbor now, buddy, and all of that, and the way it all connects together, man, it's just awesome, isn't it?
It is. And, like I got to go back to it again. It's everybody working together because, the Pearl and places like the Blind Tiger, they're going to do well just because they have a good product and good people working for them. But when you combine the, places like the Pearl and the Blind Tiger and Cousins and Social Chair, Flirty Girl, Buoys, Triple Tail, with that, super strength, that chain, there's no weak links in it. They're all working for the greater good and helping each other out, helping guys like me out, running, smelly charter boat fishermen.
And then you experience things like the architecture, the murals that were part of this recent effort by the art community there, and then Old Town Bay St. Louis, and how it all connects together. Man, it's special. It really is. So what's cool about this conversation, though, Sonny, is that what you guys are focused on, and we'll come back to this on the other side, and then we'll talk about what's the latest on the fishing world. But what you guys are focused on is not just showing someone a great experience where they can take a fish with their kids and so on. But it's just total coastal Mississippi experience and how all these dots connect together. And by the way, it's not just about Bay St. Louis. It could be that this plays out in Pasture Sand or Long Beach or wherever, because these guys have their boats on trailers and they're going to move their boats and meet their clients where the fish are. And that's one of the cool things that they bring to the table. We'll continue our conversation here with Sonny Schindler from Sure Thing Charters after this break. See you on the other side. Welcome back to the final segment of Coast Vue. I have my friend Sonny Schindler with us, and I was looking back when I had the conversation with Thomas Jenin, the restaurateur, entrepreneur. I read a quote from Paul Bear Bryant, and the quote was this: "It's not the will to win that matters. Everyone has that. It's the will to prepare to win that matters." To do well in your business, you just can't will it to happen. You got to prepare. And you guys are focused on finding the fish. The preparation that you guys are engaged in is really significant. But that does describe you. You prepare to win, don't you?
You do. And winning can mean a lot of different things for us. Sometimes it's very specific, big trout on top water, and sometimes it's enough for lunch, and sometimes it's enough to fill the freezer. But you really just have to pick apart the customers, what will get them the most fun and memories out of their day. Sometimes it isn't the fish. Sometimes, it's family getting together, and half the time you got to, kind of go by and spur them and be like, "Are we fishing or talking?" And whatever, we'll fish if we want. But it's finding what's going to put the most smiles on faces. And sometimes it's a box full of fish, and sometimes it's a joy ride or a little history lesson or some storytelling. It's our job to figure out what that is and cater to the people's needs.
And for the YouTube and Facebook audience, we're showing some of his more recent photos from various trips from his charter captains. And if you want to see those, you can go to Gulf Coast, SuperTalk Gulf Coast Facebook page and look up this particular show. It'll be high up, obviously, if you're looking at it in the next day or so. And then you can go to the SuperTalk Mississippi and look under Coast Vue, and you can see that as well. There's I saw that you posted about that. This picture we're showing right now is of a freshwater catfish. That's a unique thing to do in the marsh areas, isn't it?
Way down. That is way down in the marsh. And I can't take credit for that. Matt Tusa, one of our other guides, he's kind of found this scenario where they've been holding up in these deeper channels. Most of the stuff we fish out there is, 4 foot or less. And he's been fishing these 20, 30 foot holes out there where there's big bends in these channels. And he kind of pointed me into an area that has been holding him, and he wasn't lying. Every time I've been there, the people, it's the same thing. You catch 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and they're like, "All right, this is cool, and we got plenty to eat. Let's go look for some saltwater species."
Yeah, that's. I mean, listen. When you mostly focus on the kind of saltwater marshes and what they produce, spacks and redfish and sheephead and stuff like that, to have the opportunity to go in some deep water and catch a big freshwater catfish, that's pretty cool.
I think it's cool. It's weird because some people love eating them, but a lot of the people we get are from north, where they have plenty of fresh water. So it's cool for a few minutes, and then they want to go look for redfish and speckled trout. So we have our fun and go.
Well, that's good. I mean, listen, that's what you do. I like the way you said it. Sometimes it's not about catching the fish. You can read your clients and know what needs to happen next. I would say the majority probably want to catch fish, that's for sure. But every now and then, just sitting in the quietness and hearing the seagulls, do what they do, and just being one with nature is enough, isn't it?
Sure. And I'm up for whatever. Of course, I love fishing as much as the next person, but I have fun on our birding trips. I have fun on our, I'm going sampling this week, or surveying this week with one of the labs, and I have fun doing that. It's just, every day's a treat out there. I try not to take any of them for granted. I enjoy myself.
You mentioned working with the agencies, doing the research side and the conservation side. You guys have really been involved in a multi-year project to tag fish, and you tag them from all over the place, and you're plotting them on GPS where you tag them. That's been a lot of help to the researchers, hasn't it?
It's been a help to everybody. It's really neat for them to be able to track these fish, see how big they get, where they go, and
That's
no
priceless.
negative to it.
It's priceless. Look, we're coming to the end of our time together, but as usual, it's been a great visit, Sonny. And I hope you all continue to have a, good this time of year. You have to pick in between the fronts, and then the spring's going to hit, and all hell's going to break loose. So hope we don't have as much rain. Good luck to you guys. This has been Captain Sonny Schindler of Sure Thing Charters, and we'll see you tomorrow.